Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network as we bring you tonight's racing coverage of the North-South Racing League's Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Division here this evening from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. My name is Upstate Al, alongside my northern friend colleague, Mr. Kelly Dahl. Kelly, welcome to Nashville.
Yeah, here at Nashville, and we should be in for another good one. I mean, Iowa was a fantastic race, and I'm sure we'll be bringing up the points soon, and it is a tight battle for the championship lead. It's still wide open early on. We're just about to reach our halfway point in the season, and really, it's still up in the air. There's a lot of drivers that are still in contention for this.
Absolutely. Let's pull up those points right now as we look at that information, and just 3 points separating the top two drivers and only 32 points back to 5th place. So really wide open right now currently in the 2025 Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Division, and really Brian Hacker top of the heap, but Guillaume Fortin right there keeping them honest.
Yeah, those two guys have been competing for wins every single week so far, but we have had a number of fast drivers. I mean, we've had Dylan Connor up at the front, but just can't find the luck. Randy Nichols has gotten himself involved as well, and as we saw last week, we also got a win out of Ryan Johnson, who can always sometimes pull something off like he did last week, making those tires last longer than anyone else.
Absolutely. It's really early on. Only 4 races have been completed, tonight being round number 5. It's hard to believe already a month of racing gone. As we look at the info for tonight, we're located in Nashville, Tennessee, just a little bit over a half-mile racetrack, with the track record being held by Brian Hacker with an 18.332. And I believe currently, we are pretty going to be flirting with that in qualifying here this evening. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of race we get. We've seen a lot of looseness off of turn number 2 here, Kelly, but 1 extra set of tires. I got full fuel in the car, so I do not believe fuel will become an issue, but those tires, I think that could make a difference here tonight.
Yeah, we saw tires be the big difference last week. As I mentioned, it came down to Ryan Johnson making them last, while pretty much everyone else had to pit. I think there was one other driver that no-stopped it, and we had a few drivers blow out their right fronts trying to keep up. So watch for some of these guys to try to make these tires last. Watch for maybe a caution to maybe throw something and throw this race into chaos, as we'll get maybe a few different pit strategies involved. But I think we are going to be in for another good show tonight.
I absolutely agree with you. In Nashville, we're going to have 2, maybe even 3 groups of racing, and it's really going to be a good program here tonight. So we're glad that you're alongside us here tonight, ready to watch the racing from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway for the Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Division. And Renu Sealcoating has been around for over 20 years, has been protecting and maintaining southern Wisconsin driveways, parking lots, and playgrounds. With over 75 years of combined asphalt expertise, they treat every customer like family and stand by their work every time. Whether it's your home driveway or a megastore parking lot, Renu Sealcoating has you covered. Call them today at 608-576-7897 or visit them at renewsealcoating.com for a quote today. Mad Plowing, proud sponsor of the North-South Racing League, and they are presenting sponsors of tonight's Hard Luck Award and the Fast Time Award, and they are celebrating cold, hard realities of racing. Mad Plowing is your go-to landscaping company in Oregon, Wisconsin areas, specializing in snow removal during the winter and mowing services all summer long. Whether it's clearing your driveway or keeping your lawn pristine, they've got you covered. Call them today at 608-217-3528 for all your landscaping needs. RC2 Graphic Solutions. is a proud sponsor of the North-South Racing Leagues, and they are your go-to source for professional graphic design specializing in the racing industry. From season schedules to event flyers to winter graphics and social media content, they deliver high-quality designs that make your league or event stand out. Need custom graphics? Contact them today at rc2graphicsolutions@gmail.com. Your events, our designs. Wizards Design, the proud sponsor in 2025, is they are currently creating creativity and craftsmanship. They've proudly designed the North-South Racing Leagues Awards Championship trophies for the last 2 seasons running. You can check out all their amazing work at facebook.com/Whitco23. You can reach out to David Witkowski as well at davidwitkowski@yahoo.com. And are you in the market for a good-looking hot rod out on the racetrack? Well, Austin Designs can make your race car a reality. Check them out at Austin Designs and reach out to Scott Austin for more information. And just like that, Kelly, we are already into mad plowing quick time qualifying here this afternoon.
Yeah, we've already got Scott Negus at the top of the board running a 18.745. And the track record right now is an 18.332. I don't believe that is going to be broken here tonight. We have not seen anyone quite get close to that on the practice times. But Braden Campbell now going to go to the top of the board with an 18.629. Scott Negus gets a little bit better with a 6.79, but still not quite enough to beat that 33 machine.
Hey, Dustin Shepard up on the racetrack right now. Shepard in the 89 going to go 8th quick on lap number 1 with a 19.35 with a Zoo Fab Garage Chevrolet. And he'll work off turn number 4 here. And coming across the line, Shepard's lap number 2 is good enough for the pole with an 18.59. 1859 for Dustin Shepard. As we wait for some other cars to come out on the racetrack. One car coming out on the racetrack now is the 00 of Rob Donitson. Donitson, a rookie this season, and that 00 rolling down the backstretch, trying to get some heat in those tires, Kelly, as they get ready to do for fast time qualifying. And right now, Shepard sits atop of the heap with an 18.59.
Another car out on the track just starting his first flying lap is the 91 of Adam Gable. It almost seems like these guys need to bank on that second lap being the faster lap, so maybe that first lap is going to be just used for getting up to speed, getting up to temperature. I'm watching Gable now, and he's taking a high line through 3 and 4, so definitely trying to build up speed. Let's see what he's going to be able to do on his second lap, because, yeah, that first one all the way at the bottom, so, of course, he's just trying to build that car up. But now let's see the 91 coming down the back straight away through 3 and 4, can keep that thing pinned exactly where he wants it. Here he comes off of turn 4. What's it going to be for the 91? It is an 18.750, so pretty much middle of the field for Adam Gable at the moment.
Yeah, Donitson going to come across the line. He'll go 4th quick with an 18.71. Jeff Mathis just jumps inside the top 10. Philip Martin now with an 18.89, and he's going to lose the handle off of turn number 4. Randy Nichols goes to the second. And your current track record holder, the number 2 of Brian Hacker, coming up onto the racetrack for his qualifying attempt here in Mad Plowing Fast Time qualifying. Scott Austin goes 11th quick on lap number 1. We'll see if the Austin Designs number 5 can go quicker here on lap number 2.
He's going to come across the line, and he's going to go a little quicker, 18.751, but going to be slotted right behind Adam Gable. Matt Hackathorn just a few moments ago came across with an 18.749. Brian Hacker going slow on his first lap. We've seen that with a few drivers just trying to build up the speed. Let's see what he can do on that second flyer. Only a few seconds left in qualifying here. A number of drivers have not put down a lap yet. And there are a number of them out on the racetrack. Ryan Hacker coming across the line. Waiting for his time. 18.625, so he can't get anywhere close to Dustin Shepard. Dustin Shepard put down an absolute blazer of a lap.
Yeah, and right now you're just trying to be inside the top 8. As we all know, the RC2 graphic solution redraw will be coming up as soon as fast time qualifying presented by Mad Plowing comes to a complete. How about Dylan Connor? He'll go second quick with an 18.62. So you were right, Kelly. The 89 of Shepherd absolutely doing a flyer of a lap, and the fast time presented by Mad Plowing will go to Dustin Shepard, and tonight's Fast Time Award is brought to you by Mad Plowing, proud sponsors of Speed. Whether it's clearing snow in winter or keeping lawns sharp in the summer, Mad Plowing gets the job done fast and efficiently, serving Oregon, Wisconsin, and surrounding areas. They are your trusted name for all your landscaping needs. Let Mad Plowing show you the meaning of speed. And just like that, it is now time to go into our weekly redraw presented by RC2 Solutions, as we'll get them gathered up here, Kelly. And what a very fast group of drivers we're going to be talking to here in just a few moments.
Yeah, but there was also a number of drivers that did not put down a lap time, and a couple of drivers that mistimed things. Guillaume Fortin and Rodney Huntoon both only put down one lap. I think Guillaume was just about to enter turn 3 as time ran out, so those guys waited until the last moment and waited a little too long, and that's come to bite them. So Fortin and Huntoon, quick drivers, but are going to have to be starting all the way back in 19th and 20th.
Absolutely. As we get ready to go here, we're going to have Dustin Shepard to be our first driver that we talked to. We see him down here, Kelly, so we'll go ahead and we'll get started with tonight's redraw with the fastest driver. Dustin, congratulations on the Mad Plowing Fast Time Award here tonight. What a blistering lap that was.
I don't know if we've got him.
I'm not sure. Maybe he's just playing shy tonight.
I think we might have to move on because we do not have time for to get through all these drivers. If we have to keep... Oh, wait. I'm seeing something light up. Dustin?
Can you hear me?
There we go.
There
we
he
got
is.
him.
I've been over here talking away.
He
Yeah,
was so
heard
fast
nothing.
he blew right away from the microphone there, Kelly.
Sorry about that. I guess the button wasn't.
Well, congratulations on your fast time here tonight by Mad Plowing Fast Time Award, but you have to choose 1 through 8, and well, it's a long race here at a very fast half mile.
Yes. So I know we waste a little time there, so I'll just go with number 3.
Number 3. Coming off the board, number 3. Well, Dustin, you're going to start P8.
You guys kill me with these number choices.
You had all the numbers to choose from.
I know, but figured it'd be 3 would be in the middle somewhere. Not. I think I've chose 3 and it's been 8 3 or 4 times. Well, not this year. We only had 3 races, but over the past 2 seasons.
Well, you slipped Kelly a little bit of coin there. You might be able to help you out.
Right.
Oh, I have loose morals. You slip me some money, I will tell you what's pole.
Oh man.
Well, good luck here tonight, Dustin. Congratulations on setting fast time. We look forward to see what that Zufab Garage Chevrolet can do here tonight.
Thank y'all.
All right, Kelly. Well, we made one customer not so happy, but the rest of them know the pole's still out there. Next driver up is Mr. Dylan Connor, who second time, and I believe you caught up with him.
Yeah, here now with Dylan Connor. And Dylan, we had a little bit of technical issues, so we're going to be moving a little quicker here tonight. Number 3 has been taken. What would you like? Oh, don't tell me we're going through this again. Dylan, you there? Dylan. Dylan Connor. Going once, going twice. We've got to keep moving. We're running out of time here, Al.
So Dylan will start towards the back of the field. We'll check back there. But the driver that qualified third, the driver out of Huntley, Illinois, the driver of number 2, Brian Hacker. Brian, do you have a copy?
I've got you.
Oh, my God. So we got someone, Kelly.
We got one.
We got one. Well, the number 3 has been chosen. And the good news for you, that was the outside of row number 4. The rest of the numbers are all still available.
All right. We'll go with the number's sake, number 2.
Number 2. Coming off the board, number 2 is going to be P3 inside row number 2. What's it going to take to win from there?
Patience, making moves at the right time, and letting the car come to us rather than trying to force it.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck here tonight, Brian. We're going to keep on moving down, see who else we can talk to. But good luck here tonight.
Thanks, man.
Brian Hack, you're going to start P number 3, Kelly.
Yeah, and I believe Dylan may have had some technical issues. He just dropped out of the sim, so maybe he'll be able to come back a little later. But let's move along here. Our next qualifier is the driver in the number 69, Randy Nichols. So, Randy, 2 and 3 have been chosen. Other than that, the choice is yours. The poll is still out there. What do you got tonight?
Let's go with 7.
Number 7 coming off the board, and it's not pole, but it will be the outside of the pole. You are going to be starting P number 2 tonight. So, even though it is on the outside line, do you think that's you're going to be able to make that work?
We'll see. We'll just try to not loop it off of 2 or 4 tonight, and just kind of hope for the best. So we'll see what happens.
All right, we'll hope for the best for you as well, Randy, and good luck to you tonight.
I appreciate it.
All right, so Randy Nichols is going to be starting P2, so let's keep it moving along, and I believe the next qualifier is Braden Campbell.
Yeah, Braden Campbell going to set 5th fast time in qualifying, make it into the RC2 Graphic Solutions redraw. 2, 3, and 7 are off the board. Braden, what number would you like? You have 1, 4, 5, 6, or 8 to choose from.
Let's go with number 5.
Number 5. 5 coming off the board, and that's going to be P number 7, so inside row number 4. Better to start inside, you think, tonight?
I prefer the inside at this track.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck here tonight, Braden. We look forward to see what this 33 car can do here tonight.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Braden Campbell going to start P number 7, Kelly.
Yeah, P number 7 for Braden Campbell, so a little bit further back in the field. But still, good opportunity for him to maybe move himself up by starting in the inside.
Absolutely.
All right, so
Go ahead.
moving along, we have got Scott Negus. And Scott, we have got a few numbers left here up on choice for your choices. So 1, 4, 6, and 8 are your choices. What do you like tonight?
Let's take number 1.
Number 1 coming off the board, and you'll be starting back there in P number 6. So on the outside, do you think that's a bit of a disadvantage here tonight?
At the start, no. Later on in the race, probably, yes.
All right, well, hopefully you can make it work for you at the start, and it isn't like we saw a few weeks back where that outside line got freight trained to the back.
I hope you're right, buddy.
All right, so Scott Negus is going to be starting a little further back there in P number 6, but he's hopeful on the start to be moving forward.
Absolutely. And up next will be Rob Donitson. And here is Rob coming across the stage. Rob, 7th fastest overall here in RC or fast time or mad plowing fast time qualifying. We've got numbers 4, 6, and 8 still available. And I believe the poll is still out there. Which number would you like?
Let's go with 8.
Number 8 coming off the board, and that is going to be the poll. So 00 on the pole here tonight. What's it going to take to stay up there?
It's going to be fun. I think you need to stay out of trouble, not overdrive the car, and just race smart and not try to get crazy on the first lap. So definitely a fast field, and everybody's real close. So it should be a challenge for sure.
We wish you the best of luck, Rob. We look forward to seeing what you can do here tonight. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, the poll going to go to Rob Donitson here tonight, Kelly, as he draws the number 1, and I believe you've caught up with our last driver, Mr. Josh Cole.
Yeah, here now with Josh Cole. And Josh, you may not have expected it because you qualified 8th, but you actually do get a choice here tonight due to another driver having some technical issues. So you've got the number 4 and the number 6 on the board. Pole has been taken. What would you like here tonight? Josh, are you there? I think we're missing another one, Al, but we need one of these guys to come back because someone's got to make a choice between these last 2 numbers.
Josh might have stepped away for a quick second, Kelly, and I believe we will check with the powers at B on that.
We could try seeing if Dylan Connor's back. I think he had some technical issues that he may have sorted. He's back in the sim.
Okay.
Let's poke him. Dylan, are you there now? I'm not hearing anything coming from Dylan Connor, so we are gonna have to figure this out.
Yes, sir, I'm all here.
Oh, there we go. All right, thank God, because there was 2 of you guys that were missing, and we have 2 numbers left on the board, so someone needs to pick something. So, all right, we have got 4 or 6. What number would you like here tonight, Dylan?
I'm gonna go with number 4.
All right, number 4 coming off the board, and that means you're going to be starting on the inside in P5. How are you liking the inside line here tonight?
I'll take that. I definitely think it's gonna be an advantage here. Maybe on a longer run, that outside groove may get worked in, but we'll just see how it goes. Think you're definitely gonna have to save tires here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people have been expecting the tires to become a factor here tonight, so hopefully you can make them last. Maybe do what Ryan Johnson did last week, and we'll wish you good luck here. Let you get ready right before the race goes to the grid.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so Dylan Connor, he will be rolling off in 5th, so that means Josh Cole will be taking P4, and that means we have got our lineup set with just a few seconds to spare. We are ready to go now for 125 laps around the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
I mean, should we take that personal, Kelly? Nobody wanted to talk to us tonight. Well, RC2 Graphic Solutions, a proud sponsor of the Top 8 redraw, and we thank them for their support of the North-South Racing League's Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Division. Coming back to live pictures as the field starts to get set up here on the front stretch as we get ready to go with tonight's with tonight's race here presented by Renu Sealcoating. Kelly, this is what your starting lineup will look like. We just did that redraw, and Rob Donitzen going to start on the pole. Outside of him, Randy Nichols in P number 2. Brian Hacker roll off 3rd. Josh Cole start 4th. 5th will go to Dylan Connor. Scott Negis will start on the outside of that row number 3. Row number 4 going to be Braden Campbell and Mr. Dustin Shepard. Starting on the inside of row number 5 will be Jeff Mathis, and outside of him, the 404 of Matt Hackathorn.
Amos Odegaard will be rolling off in 11th, and on the outside of him, the 91 of Adam Gable. Scott Austin rolls off on the inside of row 7, and to the outside of row 7 will be the 93 of Chad McLeod. Philip Martin in the 46 machine will be starting off in 15th, and the number 15 of Matt Cook will be on his outside in 16th. Dan Janjanin rolls off in 17th with the 85 of Austin Williams to his right side. Guillaume Fortin, as mentioned, miscalculated his qualifying run, and he'll be starting all the way back in 19th alongside another driver that made that same error, Rodney Huntoon. And then Dante Curtis, Jeff Bergener, Greg Fronick, and Shane Loveridge will take the tail end of the field as they did not set a qualifying time. I believe Shane Loveridge will not be taking to the grid either.
Well, not those 2 drivers. It looked like Connor did get in the car but could not get it to turn over, so a tough break for the driver that made it into the RC2 Promotions Top 8 redraw. This one's going to be a good one here tonight, Kelly. A lot of nerves. These drivers know what's on the line here. And if you're Guillaume Fortin, you came in here 3 points behind Brian Hacker. A lot of ground to make up here in this 125 lap race. Off of turn number 4 for the first time here this evening. We are about to go green flag racing at Nashville.
Yeah, the 00 gets off to a good start, but look at that 69 of Randy Nichols. He's actually going to be leading going into turn 1. He's going to carry a lot of speed on the outside. The outside line may have some pace here early on. He's actually going to get clear of Donaldson, so Randy Nichols moves himself into the lead on lap 1. Donaldson actually gets loose in turn 3. He's going to lose a lot of ground, go back to 4th place. He's loose again. He's going to get helped around, and we're going to have our first caution tonight as, the back end of the field piles in.
Big wreck here on the front stretch. And Dylan Connor going to come in here slow. But Donitsin, your pole sitter, got loose off of turn number 4, Kelly. As our Wizards Designs yellow flag comes out for the first time this evening for a big wreck here on the front stretch.
Yeah, huge wreck on the front stretch. A number of drivers involved. A couple drivers managing to sneak through. Guillaume Fortin and looked like Jeff Bergener somehow managed to find a gap, went all the way to the bottom, and snuck past that huge pileup on the outside going to turn 1.
Yeah, Rodney Huntoon, nowhere to go. Jeff Mathis, let's go on board and see what he saw on the Nationwide number 8. Donitsa got loose and Campbell just unable to stay off of him. And a hard lick to the outside wall. Rodney Huntoon, just an innocent bystander as well as he's working through turns 3 and 4. Starts to check up, and that wreck just kind of just closed up everyone there. A little bit of damage to Huntoon's car, but Gable, a hard lick. Matt Cook with a lot of damage as well as the field paces behind the pace truck. I believe next time by we should get the Choose, presented by Austin Designs.
And the Choose tonight is the H in Nashville, right on the start-finish line. So go to the left for the low side, to the right for the high side. And it should be interesting to see what the drivers pick here, because we saw Randy Nichols start on the outside pole and actually able to get into the lead before turn 3 on that first lap. So that outside line may actually be the place you want to be on that initial start, just because you can carry a little more speed as everyone's trying to get up to speed.
And it looks like they'll have a little bit more grip there. We saw how much trouble Donitsin had with trying to lay the power down for these Renu late models. Stock division is here. They come down the front stretch. First 2 cars going outside. The field will sling through there. A lot of guys choosing the outside row, Kelly.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not too surprising after seeing what Nichols could do, and he also goes for that outside line for this the start. And I mean, he gets to control the initial start. He probably will jump clear of Brian Hacker, so he can probably just go from high to low. Because that is the other thing, even as a leader, if you are able to get clear of the other driver, you can't change lanes until you cross the start-finish line. So if you think you can get a better jump, why not just use the outside lane, and then you're already set up for turn 1.
Absolutely. And I think we're going to really see what these how this will handle now. This track getting cleaned off underneath this yellow flag and the long green flag running. They're going to build up those marbles. And we've really seen over these first 4 weeks that on those long green flag runs, the marbles can really cause a lot of havoc for these drivers.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those guys get into the marbles and then pretty much slide up into the wall and have almost no grip, but it's going to be a clean track now. Randy Nichols leading the field into turn 4. He's going to jump early, and he's going to get right on the loud pedal. Going to get completely clear of Brian Hacker going into turn 1. Hacker going to move himself up as soon as he crosses the start-finish line, trying to get himself a good run through 1 and 2. Josh Cole trying to hold off the 55 of Scott Negus behind, and Negus gets a little loose off of 2. It looks like these cars are struggling to find grip on the exit of these corners under cold tires.
Yeah, they are, and they're trying to make some kind of moves right now. And how about Dustin Shepard up into the P number 6 right now after starting 8th in tonight's field, and you see that we're on board with Scott Negus, and he was really chasing that race car as we got a bid for the race lead.
Yeah, Brian Hacker taking a look on Randy Nichols, trying to see if he can get himself into an opportunity to make a pass for this race lead. Nichols trying to hold him off. Meanwhile, Josh Cole is catching up to both of these guys, so we've got basically a little bit of
trouble in the back stretch. The Renu Sealcoating 93 of Chad McLeod has gone around off of turn number 2. Kelly, sorry to jump on you there.
Yeah, it looks like McLeod loses it off of 2 and seems to have collected the 15 of Matt Cook as well. So a little 2-car incident. We'll bring up the replay in just a moment, but 2 cars spinning around in the backstretch.
Yeah, McLeod had trouble with that race car from the opening wreck there, and the car just lost the handle through the center of 1 and 2, and he chased it, and then Matt Cook just nowhere to go. And this racetrack really clogs up real quick there, but you see the 93 car just comes right across right in front of Cook's car with nowhere to go. So a tough break there for both McLeod and Matt Cook.
Yeah, it looks like these cars are really struggling for grip on the exit of these corners. These guys are having to be careful with the throttle and with the wheel, at least until the tires get up to temperature. They may just be pushing it a little too hard, a little too early. So let's see if these guys can maybe sort these things out, maybe wear those tires in, wear the track in a little, and find a little more grip here on this racetrack.
Yeah, the free pass going to go to the number 90 of Dylan Connor. Was able to get back on the lead lap after having to start this race from pit road after some kind of difficulty during the gridding sequence. So Connor's back on the lead lap. Bunch of drivers still on pit road. Donitsin, Odegaard, Bergner, McLeod, Fronick, and Mathis all down on pit road. Although Greg Fronick back out onto the racetrack in his car number 71.
Yeah, Fronick going to be the first car a lap down now, so he'll be in the position to get the lucky dog. And I had said Greg Fronick had made it through that first crash. I thought he had, but Jeff Bergener. I thought he had made it through the first crash, but it appears not. He is now 6 laps down and looks like he does have some front end damage on his race car. So he is now moving and getting himself back out. He's actually 7 laps down as the cars go by once again. Everyone has chosen their spot, and now we are getting ready to go. Randy Nichols on the inside this time, Brian Hacker to the outside.
Yeah, interesting there. We thought Nichols choosing the outside the first 2 times has now changed it up to the inside. I guess as the control car, you can probably get that good enough of a jump to clear yourself down the one. That Cintas number 69 has gone to victory lane once so far this season. Brian Hacker has won twice, and Ryan Johnson picked up the win a week ago at Iowa.
Yeah, and Guillaume Fortin has moved himself up quite a bit already. He's now on the outside of row 4, so he has been making moves since the drop of his green flag. Pace car down and away. Nichols going to jump once again. This time getting a good launch on the inside here now. Cross and start finish line. He is going to be able to move up completely clear of Brian Hacker as Scott Austin and Josh Cole go side by side through turn 2.
Cole able to get the power down the 89 car. A little bit loose there. You see it on the right side of your screen. Cole with a nice power move around the outside. And the number 9 car, Josh Cole, trying to hold on to third. He will hold off the advances of Scott Austin in the number 5 car. And Scott back in the familiar colors that we're familiar with him in the Austin Designs entry. Scott Negus right back there in spot number 5. Top 5 cars go single file, but how about Guillaume Fortin? He's battling for a top 8 spot as he battles with Philip Martin.
Yeah, trying to get himself up into 7th place. That's where he was before that caution came out, but Philip Martin had a fairly good restart and was able to battle on the inside. Now Guillaume will get clear and smooth himself down into the preferred lane. So he's got a little bit of ground he's going to have to make up to Dustin Shepard, about half a second. But There's an even tighter gap right up at the front. Randy Nichols and Brian Hacker separated by just a tenth. Hacker was putting a lot of pressure on Nichols before that last caution. We'll see if he can pick up where he left off.
Brian Hacker trying to make a move for your race lead as we go on board with him with the Renu Sealcoating onboard camera. See him hopping through those bumps, and now starting to see those lap times get a little bit quicker, Kelly, as temperatures start to come up in these Hoosier Racing tires.
Yeah, I think the grip is starting to come into these cars, and maybe we'll start wearing this track in a little bit more, so you may be able to see these guys go a little bit straighter off of these corners. And I think that was the main advantage of the outside lane on these restarts, is that they were just able to not have to turn the wheel as much, and they can kind of it was easier for them to get the grip off the corner. And now we're basically seeing that inside line becoming the stronger line. And a few of these drivers said later on in the run that the outside line may come in, so we'll have to see if we are going to get a multi-lane race here tonight.
Trouble off of turn number 2 for Dan Janjanin. He keeps the car rolling, will stay green, but Janjanin got loose off of turn number 2, and he gets it back up to speed. Hopefully not too much damage to the number 2 car. He's fallen back to the 17th position. Last car on the lead lap.
And Brian Hacker's keeping his nose close to Nichols, and I'm starting to wonder if Hacker's trying to just save the tires and just cruise a little bit behind the 69 car. Actually, Nichols starting to open that gap up a little more. It's gone up about almost a tenth on going through to 1 and 2. Hacker closed up the gap a little bit off of 4 now, but still, it is a larger gap this time across the line than it was on that previous lap.
Still right there, just 2/10 off the back bumper of them, trying to make something happen. Behind them, Scott Austin and Josh Cole leading the next freight train, and the 89 of Dustin Shepard. He's starting to close in on Scott Negus for a top 5 position. Guillaume Fortin sits back in 7th. Philip Martin, Dante Curtis making a limited start this season in the Bush Beach 03 Camry, coming up off of turn number 4. Good to see Dante back out here in the NSRL ranks. Remember, I had to step away due to job commitments last season in the Zufab Garage Street Stocks division.
Yeah, and he had been doing quite well in those first few weeks in the street stocks. Oh, caution is going to come out for the 3rd time tonight. Looking to see where it might be. I believe it is Austin Williams on the back straight. May have just lost it by himself off of turn 2.
Yeah, single file there, and the leaders are coming. He's trying to get pointed back in the right direction. Not going to be able to do so before losing a lap, so a tough break. So the 85 car going around. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to him. He was racing right there behind the 21 of Jeff Bergner and just got loosened up in the outside wall, Kelly, and hit it pretty darn hard with that right rear quarter panel.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard hit for that 85 car, and he's pretty banged up, not just on the left rear. It looks like the whole left side has just basically been crunched in by that hit, so he'll have to come down pit road, try to see if he can hammer some of that damage out, and hopefully he can prevent himself from losing any more laps.
So
Gable just came down pit road, wondering if that is for damage or something, or maybe even for tires. I can't imagine to be for that extra set of tires this early on. I mean, they do only have the 1 set, I believe, so.
yeah, remember Gable was involved in that lap 1 incident on the front stretch, so his car looks fairly used up here. So imagine trying to get it pointed back in the right direction.
Yeah, probably just straighten out a few body panels. May have been finding that he was losing a bit of time due to some of that damage, and I think the cars are choosing now. Yeah, they scatter through the front straightaway here as they come across the line, so Randy Nichols once again choosing the inside. And I think he maybe just found that when he used the outside line, even though he had an earlier jump, because Hacker had that inside line, it didn't give Nichols the advantage he quite expected to have. So now he's been able to get a good jump and able to clear up that high side, still able to get himself to the top before turn 1. And now pace car will go down to the safety of pit road. Now let's see if Nichols can do it once again. And he is going to jump after being right on the door of the 2 machine, and he will roar down into turn 1 in the lead, well clear of the 2, and the 5 of Scott Austin trying to get to the quarter panel of his teammate has to back off in turn 1, and now he's going to have to fend off Josh Cole, who's roaring through on the high side.
Yeah, and right there, you see there behind them, they're 2x2 for third spot. Right behind here comes the 89 of Dustin Shepard. He tried to make it 3 wide there just for a second. Thought better of a Shepard trying to take that 5th spot away from the 55 of Negus. Up off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. The outside going to prevail once again for both Cole and Negus to hold on to 3rd and 5th respectfully.
And it's also going to work out for Guillaume Fortin, who once again is going to get himself clear of Philip Martin on the high side. So it seems like the high side's the place to be on the initial start, and then you want to get down to the bottom once the tires warm up here a little bit. So see if maybe any drivers can try to make a later run on the high side, as we are still trying to figure out where we can find these battles, as Scott Austin is still putting some pressure on Josh Cole. He's looking for his opportunity.
Yeah, they are really looking for there as the top 2 cars put a little bit of distance between themselves and 3rd place running Josh Cole. Cole trying to hold off the advances of Scott Austin. Here, just 35 laps complete, working lap 36 as they work down the backstretch. And Randy Nichols up front, running a good line there, kind of a little bit high of an enter, and works low off the corner, and he's getting a great drive down the front stretch.
Yeah, but he nearly opened himself up that last time through turn 4, as Brian Hacker kind of tried to stick his nose through that open door that Nichols was leaving on the inside, and now Nichols is going to have to keep that car a little bit lower than he maybe wanted, just because he saw that opportunity that he nearly gave Brian Hacker. Now Hacker running a little bit of a higher line through turn 1, trying to see if he can get a little bit of speed down off of 2. It's not quite going to be enough to catch up to Randy Nichols. Now once again keeping it nice and tight down through 3 and 4. Just behind them, though, it is nose to tail for 3rd place, as Josh Cole is barely hanging on against Scott Austin, who's going to get up to the bumper of the 9 car, nearly moving him out of the way because he's got to get himself moving. Scott Negus is also applying pressure to Scott Austin, as he wants to move himself forward.
Yeah, and Negus starting to feel the pressure from the Zufab garage, number 89 of Shepard, and he's got about 2 or 3 car lengths before you get to the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Now the battle for 3rd, shaping up. The 5 took a bit to the inside. Has to tuck it back in line. Nothing doing that time in the turn number 3. Tell you right now, the high-speed game of chess right now. You're trying to force the driver in front of you into a mistake, or maybe make them push where they use those tires up, as we are working lap number 41 here. We close in on the halfway point in about 20 laps here. Is the Wizards design yellow flag going to come out for the 4th time, as it looks like Dan Janjanin has gone around here with his Ford Fusion. We'll take a look back here and see what happened to Janjanin. Down through turns 1 and 2, got on those bumps, and the car just stepped out sideways and into the nosed in, and he'll take the tow back to pit lane. So some takers down pit road, though, Kelly. Kind of surprised right now as Connor, Hackathorn, Gable, Cook, and Fronick all come down pit road.
Yeah, a few of these guys that is their 3rd or 4th time coming down pit road. Gable and Cook have come down every single time. It's the 2nd time for Dylan Connor. I don't know if he would be taking tires this early on. I don't know if any of these guys will take tires. And we'll take a look. Actually, no, Dylan Connor took right sides, and I think that's early. We've been getting a lot of cautions here, so the tires shouldn't be that worn. And if you're wanting tires, you're going to want them later after you wear them in. And we saw, at least with the street stocks last season, Brian Hacker and a few other drivers making later stops and then charging through the field on fresher tires. So I think pitting this early and taking those right sides is not the call.
I think that's, like you said, maybe a little bit early. But again, so far this season, we've seen where tires have not really made that big of a difference. So if maybe they can't make it all 125 laps on fuel, Kelly. So maybe
I'm actually seeing something here that we hadn't noted. It's the tire limit. It actually was not set. So these guys do have more sets of tires than initially planned and initially intended.
Well, race officials being generous as the Austin Designs choose cone comes back out, and Randy Nichols will choose the inside. It's pretty much in out all the way through the field, so lining up the way that they should.
I'm still surprised a few of these guys are taking the inside line. We've seen that it just does not work, but at the same time, you only really lose one spot just to the guy outside. So I guess it is more worth it to take that inside line and only lose the one spot than to lose more. But here comes Randy Nichols off of turn 4 once again. And we are going to get back to racing. They cross the start-finish line, and immediately Nichols is going to move up to the high side. Oh, Scott Austin actually this time. He's going to get clear of Josh Cole. Cole did not have the start that he wanted. So move the 5 of Scott Austin up into 3rd place. Just behind there, they're still battling for position. Josh Cole going to barely fend off Dustin Shepard as Shepard gets a little loose off of the corner. Now Scott Negus is going to have to see if he can get around Philip Martin. It looked like the inside line just all the way through got a little bit of a better start that time around.
They did, and they're still side by side. Behind them is Philip Martin now. Tries to roll there. Guillaume Fortin smells the blood in the water. Back there as they battle inside the top 10. Fortin back to the high side of the Speedway. Negus got the tilt load, number 55, rolling the outside as well. Guillaume Fortin might be able to get to the right recorder panel of Philip Martin's automobile off of turn number 4.
Yeah, it almost looks like Guillaume is looking for which driver was going to win this battle, and it seems like it's going to be Negus, but now Philip Martin is fighting back on that inside line. Now that the tires are coming back up to temperature, that grip's coming back to the inside, but at the same time, that high side carries a lot of momentum, but here comes Martin. He's got his nose back up there to the door of the 55 car, and he was just about cleared a few laps ago. So it seems like both these lines are finding it. And now Negus getting a little bit more speed. I think he may have caught the wall off of 2, but even still, he's now going to get clear maybe of the 46. And big crash. It looks like the 9 of Josh Cole.
Josh Cole, Brendan Campbell making hard contact to him. I believe Dustin Shepard may have been involved as well. As you see, heavy right front damage as the Wizards Designs yellow flag comes out for the 5th time this evening. Is Dustin Shepard's right front looks to have some damage here. Let's take a look here from this camera view to see what happened. Off of the corner. Bounced the wall. Shepard nowhere to go. And heavy contact for Braden Campbell in the 33 car as well, Kelly. Is now Shepard coming down pit road to fix damage on the 89 car. And a few other drivers coming down pit road as well, including Dante Curtis, Rodney Huntoon, Adam Gable, all coming down pit road.
Yeah, it seems like a couple of these drivers, they've clued into the fact that they can take tires whenever they want and are taking advantage of that and giving up the track position. A few drivers also still trying to bang out damage. I think that's basically what Gable and Cook are doing as they come down once again. And I'm kind of surprised to not see Braden Campbell come down because I thought he hit the 9 car pretty hard. I'll have to take a look at that. He does have a lot of damage on that right front, but I guess he thinks that it can carry on for now.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at Campbell's car and that Ford Mustang. You see a little bit of a gap between the nose and the hood on that car.
So heavy damage to the 33, but he's going to continue on. Josh Cole, though, I think he is done. He's pulled it behind the wall, and it's not too surprising. He caught the wall hard on the inside. So number of drivers out. Shane Leverage did not take the green flag. Rob Donaldson, Amos Odegaard were out on the first lap. Chad McLeod is out as well. Jeff Mathis, Jeff Bergener, Dan Jan, and now Josh Cole all out. So we have 16 cars still out on the racetrack, all of which are on the lead lap. So still a lot of good racing to go, as we have not quite reached the halfway point yet.
Have not, as we are working lap 55. It'll go into the books. And Randy Nichols choose the inside once again in the Austin Designs choose. He'll step into the Renu Sealcoating restart zone, and he lays it down. We're back underway. Side-by-side battle back there for the number 3 spot. Scott Negus now trying to work the outside of Scott Austin. Austin will slide up, hold on, top 3 cars. Single file back, though, a dogfight for the 4th spot. Philip Martin going to take sole possession. Is now Negus struggling on the outside on this restart, Kelly, as he's got the 13 QC of Quebec's Guillaume Fortin working to the inside.
Yeah, Negus looked like he got loose off of 2 last time around. This time, though, he has a good run off of 2, and he's going to get completely clear of the 13 QC, and now sliding up the track a little bit. This is going to give another opportunity for Guillaume. Not quite going to be there, though, so he's going to have to back off. Still a good battle throughout the field. Just behind them looks like Dylan Connor rolling on the outside around Dante Curtis. He's going to try to move himself up into 8th place. He had it that time at the line. This time, though, Curtis getting a good run through the inside of 3 and 4, and he is going to take away 8th place from Dylan Connor.
And Curtis came down on lap 52 for service with the Bush Peach Camry, trying to make some magic happen there. So Curtis possibly will 10 lap better tires than Dylan Connor, and he closing up on Campbell, who has that front end damage, running in P number 7. The other driver on the move from the back of the field, Dustin Shepard. He's working underneath the 15 of Cook. Cook, member, involved in a couple early yellow flags. He'll slide back to P14 as Dustin Shepard tries to climb back towards the front of the field here with a little bit of a right front damage on that race car.
Brian Hacker is putting a lot of pressure on Randy Nichols. He had actually got to the inside a few laps ago, but Nichols was able to carry enough speed on the high side to immediately take away any sort of run that the two had. So it almost seems like you need to make your moves on the outside line, but that makes it difficult to make the pass, because how do you make a move to the outside when everyone's running on the outside down the straightaways? So we'll have to see what Hacker is going to maybe set up against the 69 of Nichols, because it looks like that 2 car is moving fast, but he just has not been able to find an opportunity to get around Nichols.
And Nichols still showing her he has a higher entry point into the corner and able to drive down, but Hacker right there, and he kisses the outside fence once again. Nichols does, so maybe the handling on the 69 starting to go away. And Brian Hacker starting to put the pressure on there to make those handling woes show a little bit more.
Yeah, Nichols maybe has burned up his tires a little bit, or Hacker has found some speed, because it looks like that 2 car is quick and is wanting to get through, but where do you make the move as Scott Austin, his teammate, is kind of tailing along just a couple tenths behind them, maybe trying to close that gap up a little more so that he can try to make a move along with Hacker if Hacker can find an opportunity and make a hole for him.
It is possible there. Right now, Hacker glued in the tire tracks of the 69 of Nichols. But noticing, Kelly, I don't know if you've noticing it as well, Brian Hacker seems to hold down lower on corner exit, able to keep that car underneath them a little bit better.
Yeah, and that exit is helping him right now, so keep an eye on these two as the gap kind of stays the same. Each time it looks like Nichols just goes, actually almost getting a little bit of contact there between the 69 and the 2 going through 3 and 4. Nichols is giving the 2 a little bit of an opening on the inside there as he stays a little higher. Caution once again. It looks like the 71 car of Greg Fronick was spun around off of turn 2.
He is getting the 71 pointed back into the right direction. And it looks like Fronic will be heading to the safe haven of Pit Road. Here underneath the 6th Wizard Designs flag here tonight. Let's take a look here and see what happened to Fronic. Let's take a look here and see. Enters turns 1 and 2 up the racetrack and just got over those bumps, Kelly, and unloaded the rear end, and he locked it up as the leaders were coming on him. Yellow flag came out.
Yeah, a number of drivers coming down pit road, including your leaders. Randy Nichols down along with Brian Hacker. I think the number 1 car to stay out is the 03 of Dante Curtis. It looked like Dylan Connor, Austin Williams, Matt Hackathorn, Dustin Shepard, and Rodney Huntoon all stayed out as well.
Remember, those drivers had come down pit road a little earlier. 46 laps remaining in this event. So maybe playing a little bit of that strategy game, Kelly. And like you said, really not a lot of green flag laps between pit stops here.
Yeah, it's been tough to maintain control of these cars, especially off of turn 2. We've seen a number of drivers loop it around there, so we've only had a couple of little short sprints, not any big, long green flag runs, but a few heat cycles on these tires, which will kind of degrade them. So we'll see what the difference is between the drivers that have stayed out and the drivers that have pit. I mean, it's not that long. I mean, Dante Curtis came down on lap 52, and now here we are, lap 69 for the back half of this field. So your top 6 all on older tires and everyone else on the fresh tires. So keep an eye on that on this next restart. We'll see who's going to be able to move themselves to the front.
Interesting to see here. Curtis there. The field bunching up behind the iRacing pace car. Green flag back up, and we are back underway. Good jump there by Curtis over Connor. Here comes the 85 of Williams and the 89 of Dustin Shepard right there around the outside of Hackathorn. Down the backstretch they come after this restart. Top 3 cars get single filed out. Hackathorn and Shepard battling it out for the 4th position. Randy Nichols trying to make quick work of it. Here comes the number 2 of Brian Hacker. He battles Guillaume Fortin in that 13 car.
And those two guys, once again, are separated by only 3 points in the championship standings, but things can get really shaken up as, the 89 of Dustin Shepard gets a little bit of a tap there from Matt Hackathorn. He goes up the racetrack. He's going to lose a spot to Randy Nichols and possibly even Brian Hacker as Hacker moves through on the inside line. Now Randy Nichols trying to see if he can get around the 04 of Hackathorn as he's trying to just run away from Brian Hacker, but has not been able to separate himself from that 2 car at all tonight.
He is not only works up underneath the 404, the Ram entry of Hackathorn working the outside of the Speedway. Nichols and Hacker lined up on the bottom, and they got Dustin Shepard in tow. As the top 3 cars trying to run away from this battle, they've done so by about a half a second. Now Nichols and Hacker just about clearing Hackathorn off of turn number 2. They'll clear him in the turn number 3.
Yeah, Hackathorn now having to hold off the 89 and the 13 QC as Guillaume Fortin is actually going to try to get to the inside of Dustin Shepard. And there goes Hackathorn. He's going to lose it by himself, and Guillaume Fortin is also going to get helped around.
Yeah, Fortin had the check up, and the 5 of Scott Austin was unable to get off the brakes. Now the 13 getting pointed back in the right direction, but after hard contact into the inside wall. And this has huge point implications, as remember Fortin came into tonight's racing activities with just 3 points behind Brian Hacker.
And now he is likely going to have to come down pit road, repair a bit of damage, and luckily for him, he did hit the wall pretty square on his right side. Hopefully he doesn't have any damage to the toe links on that car. But the bodywork, at least, is really banged up and kind of crunched in. He is actually going to stay out for now. Looks like a few drivers are coming down pit road, like Gable and Cook. Once again, I think they've come down every time. Those guys have both hit 7 times now.
Yeah, and really watching this replay here on the Turn 3 Racing Network replay, the Gale form really just mainly hit with the right rear quarter panel of the car. Yeah, it caved in the right front a little bit, but I don't think it really got the wheels that much, Kelly.
No, I think he's going to be all right. I think he can at least stay in competition, but I don't know how competitive he'll actually be with that damage. I mean, even from the blimp cam high up in the sky, you can see that right front tire sticking out from the bodywork.
So interesting to see if that will hamper him. He only fell back to 12th, as right now 15 cars remain in the race. Looks like Fronic has taken the 71 behind the pit wall as well. So battle of attrition here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. I believe we are getting close to the choose next time by, or this time actually. So the Austin Designs choose cone.
So once again, Dante Curtis will be electing to take the high side, while Dylan Connor will be on the inside. Then it'll be Randy Nichols, Austin Williams. Brian Hacker will be on the outside of Dustin Shepard this time, so that'll be an interesting battle between those two cars.
Remember, these first 3 cars, the 90, the 03, and the 85, do not have as fresh tires as the cars behind them, and you see them getting kind of spinning the tires here as we are back under the green flag.
Yeah, you can see how much those fresher tires helped Randy Nichols on that initial start, as he got right up to the bumper of Dylan Connor, and now he's trying to get himself clear of Austin Williams, and Austin Williams going to go way up the racetrack. Brian Hacker having to let off and check up to make sure they don't go 3 wide. He did not think they were going to be able to fit, so he's still going to be stuck on that high side there. Now the 89 of Shepard making a bit of a mistake, and that is going to finally allow Brian Hacker to sneak himself through, and it looks like Scott Austin is now trying to follow through on the high side. Not quite going to be able to get there off of turn 4, but Dustin Shepard is going to give him the space on the high side, but now he is going to slot up in front of him going in through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, on board with Scott Austin as he battles Dustin Shepard. Top 7 cars, all single file, as now Austin takes a look to the inside, can't quite do anything with him as he's got Philip Martin close on the tail of him as they're side by side between the 13 and the 12 of Rodney Huntoon.
Just in front of them, it looks like Brian Hacker is taking a peek to the high side of Williams. Not quite going to be able to make it work that time, but he's going to cross him up coming off of turn 4. He's got a bit of momentum. I think he had to lift a little bit coming off of 4, but it is still going to be enough to get him to the inside. He's going to be loose off of turn 2, still going to be able to maintain control though. And he's still to the inside looking for P4. Does not want to give up ground to Randy Nichols, who's now challenging for second place. Nichols looking to the inside, seeing if he's going to find an opportunity to get around Dylan Connor. Nichols knows he's got the grip compared to these 2 guys in front of him.
And Dustin Shepard, hard contact with the outside wall off of turn number 2. He keeps the car rolling, will stay green, but Shepard went from running inside the top 10. He has fallen all the way back to 13th after a hard contact with the outside wall.
And now Nichols is going to find the opportunity to get through. He's got his nose to the inside of Connor, moved Connor up the racetrack, and now he's going to move himself up into second place. Connor trying to cross him up a little bit off of turn 4, not quite going to have the speed into turn 1. So now the focus for Dylan Connor is going to have to be to the car behind him as Brian Hacker is coming fast. He's got a lot of grip underneath him in that 2 car. We've seen that he's got a lot of pace here tonight. And now he's going to make the move off of turn 4, trying to get his nose to the inside. Going to have to dive it down to the turn 1. He's just going to get to the corner panel and have to force 90 of Connor to give him the room. But Connor, good pace off of turn 2. He's going to hang on to 3rd for now.
Nichols coming off of an 8th place run 1 week ago at the Iowa Speedway, trying to go to victory lane for the 2nd time this season. And Kelly, he picked up a win back at Darlington, so he likes these big, fast half miles and larger tracks, and he's doing a good job now. Is Brian Hacker on the attack, trying to work underneath Dylan Connor, this time off of turn number 2. Randy Nichols putting pressure to Dante Curtis as well. Is this one starting to close in at the later stages of this race? Just over 33 laps to go.
Yeah, we are starting to get to the tail end of this race, so drivers are having to make their moves now as Nichols is putting pressure on Curtis and Hacker putting pressure on Connor. Nichols now going to get his nose to the inside of that 0-3 car, but going to get a little bit loose off of 2, and that's going to kill the run that he had. So while these guys have a little bit more grip on their tires, they still have to contend with the loss of grip coming off of turn 2, and that may burn up the advantage that drivers like Nichols and Hacker have, as Hacker is now going to take a look to the inside of the 90 car of Dylan Connor, now going through 3 and 4, and at the same time coming off of turn 4, Randy Nichols is going to try to make his move for the race lead.
Battle for the race lead. Dante Curtis works the outside of the speedway. Randy Nichols catfishing it around the bottom. He's got a half car advantage in the turn number 3. Nichols down low with Curtis rolling the outside of the speedway off of turn number 4. Randy Nichols, your new race leader.
Yeah, but Randy Nichols has not got clear yet, and we've seen that outside line be able to defend, but looks like the 0-3 was a little sideways coming off the corner, but still maintained enough momentum to keep his nose at the door. This time, though, through turn 4, it's not going to be enough. Nichols is going to finally get himself clear. And now slot up in front of Dante Curtis going into turn 1. And now Curtis is under fire from Brian Hacker. Brian's already got his nose to the inside. Hacker is not wanting to let Nichols get away at all. And now he's going to be completely even with Dante Curtis through 3 and 4. Coming off of turn 4, they're going to be completely even coming across the line. And I think only a thousandth of a second separated those two.
Yeah, the very close racing there as they work down the backstretch. Brian Hacker with just the slightest of advantages over Dante Curtis for the number 2 spot. He's trying to get there as we cross the line. Lap 99 into the books, starting lap 100. Next time by, it'll be 25 laps to go as Brian Hacker almost has the 0-3 of Curtis clear. Not quite yet. Now he does in the turn number 3. Brian Hacker now going to set sights on race leader Randy Nichols as Randy's trying to run away and hide. Connor with a look underneath Dante Curtis. Now the battle for 3rd rages off of turn number 2.
Yeah, Dylan Connor watched how Brian Hacker got around Dante Curtis, and now he's going to try to do the exact same thing. He does not have the tire advantage that Hacker had, so I believe him and actually no, Dylan Connor pit 10 laps earlier than Dante Curtis, so there is actually a tire advantage towards Curtis, and now you can actually see that as he gets the spot off of turn 2. He's able to get himself back in front of Dylan Connor. Connor, though, I don't think he's done just yet. He's going to try to build that momentum once again and maybe make another attempt for 3rd place, but he's going to have to do that soon because here comes Scott Austin.
He works down the backstretch. Scott Austin in the 5th here in the Ram Racing Concept Central Tennessee Shootout here for the Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Division. Working down here through turns 3 and 4 in this battle for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot. But how about Austin Williams? We saw him in trouble a little bit earlier on. He is battling with Philip Martin for the 6th position. He's playing a lot of pressure right there. And Guillaume Fortin back there in P number 9 trying to work around Scott Negus. He came in 3 points behind Brian Hacker for the points lead just after 4 rounds here tonight. What will that points battle look like as they leave Nashville here in just 20 more laps?
Guillaume's going to have to get moving if he wants to keep in that points battle for the championship lead, because Brian Hacker is a long ways up the track from him. He's over 2 seconds and 7 positions ahead of Guillaume Fortin. So Guillaume is going to have to get moving soon. Brian Hacker still trying to chase down Randy Nichols. I mean, those two have been battling for the race lead pretty much the entire night.
Yeah, Brian is able to chip away about a 10th off that race lead. Almost 2/10 now as they exit turn number 4. And I tell you, Nichols really doing a great job here. Randy won just 2 races ago at the Darlington Raceway. Ryan went to victory lane at the Stafford Springs Raceway back on February 10th. So these drivers trying to etch another win into the season's belt. A lot of drivers behind them would like to put their name into the win column as well. Dante Curtis in a limited part-time season this season runs in the 3rd spot. Dylan Connor trying to have a good finish, Kelly. You alluded to it at the beginning of tonight's program. Connor's has had a fast race car, just has not had lady luck on his side to get finishes that car really deserves so far in the early stages of this season.
Yeah, and even had some bad luck to start the night as he was not able to make it to the grid and pretty much started a lap down when he was supposed to start within the top 8. So now he's still trying to make up the ground, still trying to get himself into the podium position and maybe get himself into the interview room for the first time this season. But he's going to have to beat Dante Curtis and Scott Austin to get there, and Austin is putting a ton of pressure on him. He's nearly got to the bumper a few times.
And right now wondering, is the 90 half in the pedal to stay off the backside of the 03 of Curtis, or is he just right in there? Scott Austin with a little bit fresher tires than both those cars in front of him, but we are in our longest green flag stretch of the evening. When will those tires differences start to show up? As Brian Hacker has now lost a little bit ground to your race leader. You see it there on the scoring pylon, and as I say that, the Wizards designed yellow flag will come out for 8th time as Dustin Shepard has lost the handle off of turn number 2.
Yeah, it looks like he went in a little hot into 1 that slid him up in 2, and while he was trying to force the car to stay down, and the back end just stepped around on him. And I think I've lost count of how many times that has happened to numerous drivers here tonight. The Nashville Fairgrounds is proving to be a difficult track for these guys.
Definitely has, Kelly, and I'm sitting here thinking about it. You watch him get into that corner, got up into those marbles, and the car just stepped out. Remember, we talked about that in the pre-race show, that the marbles could come into play here tonight, and I think it just did and took a bite out of the 89.
Yeah, but the big thing this is going to cause is it's going to group up Nichols and Hacker once again. And Nichols, I think, was still running a few tenths ahead of Hacker before that caution came out. So that is going to put these guys side by side once more. And we've seen that Nichols has gotten the jump every single time on the restart, but then Hacker a couple laps later be right back on the bumper. So this may set up a challenge for the race lead with about 10 laps to go here. And I think we're going to be even less now coming to, I think we may be 9 or 8, depending on when the green flag flies once again.
Definitely going to be a shootout here, a short track heat race length. And we get ready to go back green flag racing here tonight in the Ram Racing Concepts Central Tennessee Shootout. Next week, Kelly, we head to the state of New York. First time that the NSRL series will head to the Oswego Speedway. And I tell you, I would not want to win here tonight, knowing I would have to start the tail of the field at Oswego in 1 week's time as the Austin Designs choose. Cone comes out and the drivers choose their starting positions. Have you been to Oswego yet?
I have not. I'll have to get that one ready to go for next week. Thank you for reminding me. But we have got, once again, a side-by-side battle between Nichols and Hacker. Again, Nichols choosing the inside line. He's taking the inside every single time except for the first restart. And now pace car going to dive to the safety of pit road, and we are going to have our last battle here close out the night. Nichols going to fire off early. Hacker getting a good restart as well, trying to stay with him. But now keep an eye on Dante Curtis. He's going to try to stay with him, but he's going to slide up ahead of the 90. Now, nearly gets his nose chopped off as Brian Hacker. Hacker was looking to the inside of Nichols, but Nichols wanted to run that high-low line and had to just take the nose right off the 2-car.
He did, and right now behind them it is all jammed up and jelly tight. Guillaume Fortin trying to make his way back into the top 5. He was working underneath Connor's number 90 car. Connor with a good run off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. He'll draw just ahead of Guillaume Fortin as they head through turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, up front, Brian Hacker still there trying to make a move on Randy Nichols, and at this point, will the chrome horn have to be used to get to victory lane as Fortin gets a little bit looser there on your screen.
Yeah, we've talked about the points gap between Hacker and Fortin, but Nichols as well was only 14 points back to start the night here, so he's probably got himself a bonus point for the amount of laps he's led. Now he's just trying to close it out and close up the gap a little bit more to Brian Hacker and get himself even with Hacker in the wins column, as Hacker's already got 2 wins on the season. Nichols is looking for his second. He's still maintaining that lead and actually growing it a little bit that time, as we have got just 4 laps to go.
Right now, Nichols doing a great job. He's had a fast race car all evening long and been probably the most dominant car that we've seen here at Nashville. He's held a very pretty wheel all race long. Not a scratch on that Cintas number 69. Nichols just about 2.5 laps shy of picking up his second victory of 2025.
And the gap between himself and Brian Hacker continues to grow. It is now just about 0.3 of a second as they come across the line. Hacker is dropping off from Nichols. Nichols is opening up the throttle and trying to get himself ahead, as we've still got a few more battles throughout the field. Dylan Connor trying to get up to Scott Austin and trying to get himself into 4th place. Austin just trying to hang on against that 90 car.
White flag has flown in the Ram Racing Concept Central Tennessee Shootout for Randy Nichols' final trip down the backstretch. One last ditch effort for Brian Hacker. He's too far back. Nichols, a 2-time winner in the Renu Sealcoating late model stock division, will win here tonight at Nashville. Brian Hacker will come home second, Dante Curtis third, Scott Austin and Dylan Connor rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, Nichols going to take the checkered flag here in the Central Tennessee Shootout presented by Ram Racing Concepts, and it was a good run from that 69 car. I mean, he started up towards the front, but he still had to battle for the lead a few times. Brian Hacker was pretty much on him for the entire night, and then we had that caution lap, those pits under caution, which forced Nichols come down and moved him. He had to move his way back up through the field. I think he had to pass about 6 cars or so to get himself back into the lead.
That he did. So good drive back to the front, battling there, as we will head into our ZooFab Garage post-race show after a quick word from one of our sponsors. Welcome back to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, where we are now into the ZooFab Garage post-race show presented by ZooFab Garage, and we are headed trackside to Kelly Dahl, who's caught up with our race winner here this evening.
Yeah, here now with Randy Nichols, and Randy, it seemed like a tough track out there tonight. And how hard was it for you to maintain control of your race car?
Man, I was definitely burping the throttle coming out of the corners there. It for some reason it likes to either push or it likes to just kind of get snappy loose on exit. But That was a lot of fun, actually.
Well, you led a lot of laps, but you didn't just cruise to victory. You had to push yourself through the field a little bit after that pit cycle. So what was it like trying to make passes here tonight? It looked like it was fairly difficult to get around a few of these cars.
Yeah, you definitely had to set the pass up tonight. I mean, it was kind of like one of those cases of you have to basically get a good run off of exit, or otherwise, if you don't get to his inside on corner entry, you weren't really going to do anything there. So, yeah, you had to be kind of methodical and not really burn your stuff up. And I mean, I was trying to save it, but trying to get to the front as fast as possible to get away from Hacker there. But yeah, it was definitely a methodical game tonight.
Well, next week we're going to be going on to Oswego, and I believe we're also going to be in the afternoon there instead of here under the lights. So what are you expecting from that track?
I don't know. I actually haven't turned any laps there yet, so I might want to get started on that this week because it does not look like it's a very easy track.
Well, you're going to have to go from the back all the way to the front, so you better get those laps in soon and get a lot of practice in. But before we let you off to go do that, who would you like to thank for your win here tonight?
I definitely want to thank my girlfriend for being supportive about this. She told me good luck before the race, so I definitely think that was my good luck charm tonight. But definitely thanks for you guys for broadcasting the races and everyone out there watching.
All right, well, thanks for coming out and talking to us, Randy. Good luck to you for the rest of the season. I believe you're closing up that points gap a little bit more, so maybe in Oswego you can take the championship lead.
I'm going to try to, but obviously, Hacker's really good no matter where we go, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough battle to catch him.
All right, well, good luck to you, Randy. Hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
So that was Randy Nichols, our winner here tonight, and now I believe Al's caught up with the guy that was chasing him down all night long.
I am sitting here with car number 2 that finishes P number 2 tonight, and Brian, a very quick hot rod underneath you there tonight. This track seeming though very tricky, trickier than what I remember underneath there. How did it feel from your vantage point?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. It was definitely tricky tonight. The setup here traditionally tears up the right front, and it did not. Certainly with a full fuel load in it, it was actually loose and damn near wrecking loose. So we were all just, I think, holding on for dear life there for the first, I don't know, probably 50 laps, and I think that's why there were a handful of yellows, is between how loose it was and how bumpy this track is and how fast we're going. I thought that we might get a few cautions tonight just with everybody close together. So it was a handful for sure, and then once fuel burnt off, and of course I was really pushing it those last probably 40 laps trying to catch Randy once he got through the field a little bit better than we did. Then it went to the traditional, right front didn't want to hook up, and I felt like it was plowing tight, and I didn't have anything there at the end for him. I made one little look on that restart, but even if I would have gotten to his door, I wouldn't have been able to clear him. So second was probably about as good as we were going to be able to do tonight given the circumstances. But we're certainly not going to complain about it. It's a good run.
A very good run. You're going to extend that points lead over Guillaume Fortin. Randy's going to carve a little bit in there, but a really tight points battle, just 5 races in. And next week we head to my home state, to New York. You're going to head to Oswego Speedway. And do you have any laps there? And are you happy you don't have to start tail there?
I do have a few laps there, not a lot, and I don't think I've turned any laps in this car. I am happy we're not going to have to start in the back. Man, that place is something. It's about the same size as Nashville here, not as much banking, but it has a ton of character between the bumps and the walls not being anywhere close to straight on the straightaways and not being anywhere close to round in the corners. It's going to be an interesting race, and there's I haven't turned laps there in a few months, so definitely gonna have to turn a few to get comfortable, especially in this car, and we'll see what the setup feels like. But I don't know, next week is one of those wild card weeks. I'm not really sure what to expect.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. We're looking forward to it in 1 week's time. But we'll roll the red carpet out. Brian, who makes it all possible on this number 2 car to be here in the podium once again on the Zoofab Garage post-race show?
Yeah, first off, kudos to Randy on the win. He did everything he needed to. We were looking for him to make a mistake. I was riding right in his tire marks for a lot of the race, waiting for that mistake, and it never came. So, kudos to Randy for running a great race tonight. Shout out to Scott Austin Designs, giving us good looking cars. Scott had a good bounce back week. He needed that for sure. So good run to Scott. Aberdeen Lodge, Carbon Junction, Boulder Beer Bar, all the folks that have been with us for a number of years now. You guys in the booth for putting up with us every week, and the admin team for doing this and giving us a great place to come run with one another on Monday nights.
Well, congratulations, Brian. We look forward to see you in Oswego in 1 week's time, buddy. I hope you have a good week and keep it wheels down in all your racing adventures.
Likewise. Thanks, guys.
Brian Hacker going to come home in P number 2, Kelly. And that leaves us with the 3rd place driver, car number 3, Mr. Dante Curtis.
Yeah, caught up now with Dante Curtis. And Dante, it seemed like you're the guy that had to work the hardest for your position. I mean, what was it like fighting out there in Nashville?
It was tough. I mean, you're in the gas a lot here, and you're not out of it a lot, so it's hard to roll up on somebody. But yeah, I've started at the back trying to get the hard charger and missed the inevitable wreck that kind of figured was going to happen early. Just trying to make it to the first pit stop and be the first car to take tires. Because I knew I wasn't better than Randy or Brian, but I knew if maybe I could get tires 10 laps before they did, maybe that would be enough track position to hold them off. But oh well.
Well, you still got yourself a decent finishing position here tonight, and I believe you are running a part-time schedule. So when's the next time we're going to see you out there?
I'll have to check the schedule. I'm kind of trying to hit my favorite tracks here and avoid the tracks that won't be as fun for me since I missed out on the points. Any of the showdown races will be back, and probably the road course will be back, and maybe sprinkle a couple in here or there.
All right, and was Nashville as kind of what you expected? I mean, a lot of drivers were really struggling maintaining control of the car, and what was it like there for you?
In practice, it was really, well, to be honest, I didn't do a long run in practice, so I didn't know really what it was going to feel like, but I knew on the short run it was pretty loose. But believe it or not, we fired off kind of a little snug and fought that the whole way until I got out in front of Brian and Randy there, and they kind of put the pressure on, and I started driving too hard, and then I was screwed on both. But there towards the end, it just tightened back up. So it was tough. Kind of had to make it wide and arc it, and it was hard to pass. But we'll take a P3.
And well, P3 is not too bad. But before we let you go, Dante, who would you like to thank for your run here tonight?
Yeah, I just got to thank all the guys at DCD Racing. They're awesome to race with. Phil and Dustin and Dan and even Randy came and joined us tonight. That was fun to hang out with him. Congrats on the win. And just Renu Sealcoating for giving us a title sponsor and giving us a good place to race here, and all the admins, and you guys for a good broadcast every week.
All right, Dante, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us. Hopefully we will hear from you again soon, and good luck to you out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is Dante Curtis, our 3rd place finisher tonight, and also hard charger coming all the way up from 21st place to finish in 3rd.
Yeah, very hard charge there, as that will be a wrap on the Zoofab Garage post-race show here from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And Zoofab Garage, located in Tennessee, is your one-stop shop to get all those modifications you need on your street or track car. Want to make it go faster, run smoother? Zoofab Garage is the place to go. Zoofab Garage, proud sponsor of the post-race show. And Kelly, another great night of racing for the North-South Racing League's Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Division. Next week, I'm very interested to see how these drivers are going to handle Oswego. I've been there many times in real life, both dirt configuration for the Super Dirt Week, along with Bud Classic Weekend, which is their big race in September with the Super Modifieds. a really unique, very flat racetrack. I'm interested to see how these drivers are going to handle that and stay away from those boilerplates. Very unique track there. The boilerplates are what the walls are, so you definitely want to stay away from them. They will hurt and tear up your race cars in a hurry.
Yeah, and I've heard from you many times over the years talking about that racetrack, so I'm personally very interested in seeing it myself and seeing it how it will race, because I have not watched a single race there yet. So it'll be my first experience there next week, so we'll be looking forward to that.
You'll be definitely looking forward to that. And take a look quick at your results for tonight's main event presented by Ram Racing Concepts. Randy Nichols picked up the win with Brian Hacker, Dante Curtis, your top three. Scott Austin and Dylan Connor, your top rookie, finishing in fifth. You see where the rest of your favorite drivers fared tonight. Kelly, a lot of torn up race cars, a track very tough to handle here at Nashville. Final thoughts?
Yeah, it definitely ended up being a tougher to drive than I'd expected. I thought these guys were going to be fairly tight here, but they were completely loose coming off of 2 and 4 pretty much every time. And we saw a number of drivers looping it off of 2, a couple of drivers spinning it off of 4, and we also had that big crash right off the bat. So of 23 drivers that started, we only had 15 taking the checkered flag, but still a good race. We had Randy Nichols fighting with Brian Hacker pretty much the entire time around, and you never really knew who was going to win this until Randy Nichols started to open up that gap on that last restart. So if every race could be like this one, it would definitely be a good season.
Definitely going to be, and we'll see you all in 1 week's time when the Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Series heads to Oswego. And we thank the boys over at Renu Sealcoating for being the title sponsor for this season. Mad Plowing out of Oregon, Wisconsin, a proud sponsor of the North-South Racing League. RC2 Graphic Solutions, your events, our designs. Wizards Designs, Austin Designs. We'd also like to thank ZooFab Garage, as well as being a proud sponsor of the 2025 season here. And a reminder, coming up in the month of March, we got the Kendall Hacker Memorial. Find out more information by going to the North-South Racing League's Facebook page, where you can buy some laps for a great cause. And our thoughts and prayers are still out with the Hacker family as they deal with this time of loss in their lives. So our thoughts are with them as well. But until next week, Kelly, we'll see you in New York. We hope to see you tuning in here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll keep it wheels down. We'll see you all in Turn 3. Good night, everybody.